where are people going to physical therapy? Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and this podcast is a random hodgepodge of topics that gets released on every Tuesday on, your preferred platform, of course. And I really enjoy sharing my personal stories and making those connections with you guys and just really being relatable, all in a fun and silly environment. Hey, friends. Have you ever injured yourself before? Maybe in a way that you didn't think could happen or would happen? If you're nodding, I hear you. I definitely hear you because I did something as well, and I do want to share my experience. Stick around, learn what I did to get back on track, and listen for a tip you can take away in this episode. All right, let's go back to last year, 2021, Friday, May 14th. Now, I had Friday, May 14th off. Why? Because the company that I work for, they gave us off for mental health awareness. Imagine that, mental health awareness. Trying to enjoy the day, right? It was a beautiful, beautiful day. It was gorgeous. The sky was blue. The sun was just beaming. It was 75. And I started my day. I thought, you know what? Really would like to go to the gym and feel good. Let me go to the gym. No problem. I go to the gym. I feel amazing. I come back. I thought, it's so beautiful out. Let me go outside and just kind of hang outside. We have chairs in the back in our backyard, and we have the table there. Why don't I just sit and read for a little bit? And then, and that's it. And then come back inside and do whatever I feel like doing for the rest of the day, right? So now keep in mind, our yard in the back is a skinny backyard here in Conchi. I will tell you quickly here that, we do have landscaping people that come by. And it's nice because, our landlords that we have, they noted in the very beginning when we, right before we moved in, like 3 years ago, that, you don't have to worry about the lawn. We'll still have the landscaping people come by to mow the lawn, in the front and the back. I was like, wow, this is wonderful. Like, such a great idea. Like, we don't even have to, buy a mower, this, that, and the other thing. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, we don't have to worry about this shit. So over time, I've noticed that, now picture our round, glass table, outdoor glass table in the back, and we have 4 chairs. And we do have a fire pit now, just, with the pandemic, naturally, everyone's getting a fire pit. But yeah, we like to sit out there when it's nice. So I noticed, yes, over time that it seemed to be, at least in my opinion, it got a little bit lazy, okay? Because, they have to move all of these things in the back to mow the lawn. It's not a large yard, right? It's not going to take them that long. They don't even have a push mower. It's a riding mower, come on. So I kept noticing that, each time they would mow, they would stack the chairs and, move out the table, and then they wouldn't put it back. They would not put them back after they moved them. Have you heard of common courtesy, right? I mean, so I thought, let me see, how many times, they do this or whatever. And, I don't really know how many times it really was, but either way, I figured, let me message the landlord and see what's going on. And, get that, figured out. So I went ahead and did that, and, they give him a heads up. And especially because I thought, if the roles were reversed, right? If I was mowing your lawn and you had furniture out there, wouldn't you want me to put your furniture back? Yeah. If you didn't, then that's beyond me. Like, I don't know who would not want someone to do that for them. I didn't move those chairs. I didn't move the table. Why would I have to be responsible to move the table and move the chairs back after you had to move it in order to mow? Oh my gosh. So anyway, that kind of went on off and on, and it kind of got better, but it was still inconsistent. So, it is what it is, but it just became this thing. So of course, the day I'm out there, Friday, May 14th, I find myself unstacking the chairs. Yes. Now, these chairs, my friends, they are not heavy. They're not heavy chairs. And, I just went to the gym. You figured I'm kind of warmed up, maybe, perhaps, right? And, I pushed the table back in place where it was. And, we have some divots there. So I didn't want to make sure, it's not like in a hole. And so I'm literally lifting and twisting. Now, these are things that you do not want to do ever. No matter how light any kind of item that you are trying to move, do not lift and twist. Just the sound of it is, no. I'm picturing muscles just being broken. Am I right? So, I felt fine in the moment. I'm lifting the chairs, I'm putting them back, and put the last chair down and lift it and twist it. Well, I sat down and I'm like, well, that kind of feels strange. Like, what's that feeling? It's kind of a feeling in like the mid to lower left side. And I'm like, this kind of feels like I pulled a muscle. I may have pulled a muscle, but at the time I couldn't really figure it out because it didn't happen in the action of what I was doing, right? And my back tends to hurt off and on pretty frequently, my lower left side, just, and it gets tight because of, various things. I have flat feet, I have scoliosis. Naturally, the structure of my hips are off, and it makes my left hip higher. So when I'm being active and moving around, I start to get pain in my lower lefts. And then you add sitting, how many hours at work while I do try to stand, it's hard. So everything can get tight pretty quick. So I couldn't tell. I'm like, is this the same? Like, did I feel this earlier? I don't think so. I'm trying to pinpoint what it felt like before, like my typical pain that, I'll get off and on. And then I thought, no, this is different. This is definitely different because it's higher than what I'm used to. And I thought, this is not right. And I thought, I can't believe that this just happened. I'm 31 years old. And I threw out my back. Like, this is crazy. How, and, I'm very active and, I do strength training, but all that at the end of the day doesn't matter. If you are lifting and twisting, you're done. You're done. But, that day I went about my day and I did a bunch of things, and it was just kind of there, just like a little bit of a pain, like in my back, not like a pain in the ass, but like a pain in my back, and, I felt like okay, but I didn't feel great. And I noticed more sitting, when, you're trying to say, like, you're trying to cross your legs, and then, you're trying to like stretch your back, and you press down on your, kind of like you're going to read, well, I feel ancient, yeah, kind of like you're going to read a newspaper, right? You open your newspaper and you seem to kind of like put your leg over, but it's not like fully crossed, right? But it's kind of like an open, like an L is the best way I could describe it, right? And you push down on your knee there to stretch your back, and I'm like, oh my God, this is horrendous. So I'm like, whatever. So then it was the next day, Sunday the 15th. Well, I was still playing softball here in Conchi. And, I thought, should I play? Should I not play? I'm like, well, it doesn't seem that bad. This is what's going on in my mind, where in hindsight, I thought, why on earth would I have played? What is wrong with me? Because, I've gotten injured before in other ways, and you think I would have learned to not push through the pain, but this is what I did. So I went to softball. I thought, if I can't swing the bat, I'm not going to play. Oh, I could swing the bat. So I was like, oh, I must be, must not really be like that bad. Maybe I did not strain it that bad, right? And but I noticed, when you're playing second base like I do, and you have to ground the balls, you're bending, you're moving laterally, like all of that was just awful. Like it just did not feel good. But I thought, well, the game isn't long, all these things that made me keep playing. And I was just kicking myself because I really fucked it up. So I got home and I tried to sit down. I was actually editing an episode for the podcast. I was in tears. I was in so much pain and I could not get relief. And I thought, what the hell did I just do? And I made it worse. Yeah, playing softball. A friendly game, a co-ed game here in Conchi, that it doesn't really matter. Why would I play? I know. So now I know, now I really know that anytime something doesn't feel right, where even if it's just barely like feeling not good, whatever you're doing, do not move forward with doing any other activities, right? Like go, that is your cue to go make an appointment at the doctor's. Yes, because you're going to make it worse. And I was trying to sit. I was trying to like move up in my chair. I was trying to move back in my... it was the worst pain. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Like you don't realize with your back, and honestly, any kind of injury, and you don't realize how many muscles, we have, that any kind of movement, this direction, that direction, getting up, getting down, trying to get in your bed, trying to get out of your bed. Oh, that was tough. I felt like I was 87 years old. Yes, 87, not 90. But yeah, I mean, this is what went on. So yeah, it was truly one of the worst pains that I've had, because it was just like off the charts. If you ask me out of 1 out of 10, what is your pain? Well, I would say, yeah, beyond 10, maybe 1,000. Yeah. So I knew to get back on track, this is what I want to share with you, my knowledge. You got to go to the doctor. Duh. Go to the doctor, go get a script, because I knew I needed a script in order to go to physical therapy, because you can't just walk into physical therapy. No, because we live in a world where you need these extra little things to go get help. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I know. But this is the way we have to do. We have to do these things in order to get the treatment that we need. So went to the doctor, got my scripts, and then I got think she gave me some steroids to help knock out the pain, and amen to that. A fucking man, because all right, we're breaking, because I want to tell you about my new coffee membership tiers that I'm offering to you amazing listeners. Yes, essentially a place for all exclusive content that will not be on my Instagram and Facebook. These tiers are going to offer you from sneak peeks of the next episode, uncut audio clips that won't be on the regular episodes, so we've got some juicy content there, and merch discounts. And that's just the beginning of this all, right? So check it out for yourself. You can go and find these 3 tiers when you click on my link tree in my Instagram bio at the Big Dane podcast. Boom, click on that, and I'm making super easy for you because it's the first one on there, the coffee cup icon. See which one fits you the best. Like, literally nothing was giving me relief. So that helped, was wonderful. I had already done some research and was asking some people actually in the Conshohocken Facebook community group. I was like, where are people going to physical therapy? You know, because I want to see, you know, is the one up the street like good? Is it not good? From the outside it looks good, but who knows what the inside is, right? So went up the street to Conshohocken Physical Therapy, Good Shepherd Pen Partners. And they were amazing. You know, they really, they're trying to figure out like the pain, you know, that you're going through, pinpointing it, trying to pinpoint, you know, well, how are we going to focus on these areas and also strengthen around the areas, right? And, you know, they really evaluate you in that way. And they are trying to figure out like, well, is your body going to respond in this way if we do this exercise? Like, is that going to help, or maybe this isn't the best exercise? So they really worked with me. Was super easy to get to because it was a 10-minute walk, and the walking helped my back. So it was nice. Like, you know, I usually had gone up in the morning there, like before work, did that. And I was like, great, like this is good for my back. I'm moving. And it's crazy. Like, you think walking, I don't know, something so simple is already helping your back and get some kind of relief a little bit, right? And so that was one of the things that I would try to do a lot. I'm like, I'm just going to walk. Just got to walk. And even doing the elliptical, that really helped, because in the very beginning of this, the feeling, not just that tweaked kind of pulled feeling of a muscle, you know, if you've ever done this before, but I felt so stiff in the morning. And it's like, how do you loosen this up? Right? So, well, you loosen it up with the exercises that they give you, right? But the elliptical, the walking really helped. Oh my goodness. But at the time, you know, when I had first gone over to the physical therapist there, I was nervous because we literally just booked every single thing for our June New England trip that we did. So I thought, fuck, you know, because I thought, are we gonna have to reschedule? You know, these are the things that you start to think about, you know, when you're looking forward to something that you planned, like, and you did a lot of research, and like we were going to multiple places. Like, it would have been such a biatch to try to rejigger everything, and like, you know, you're trying to find all these good deals. So anywho, it worked out, but it was 6 weeks, you know, that I was going to PT once or twice a week, I believe. And I think it was once. And then doing the exercises at home. So this is the key. Like, if you guys like have gone to PT and think you're just going to be fine at just, oh, I'll just go one time a week at PT. Yeah, no problem. And you do not do your exercise at home, well, you're just shooting yourself in the foot and you're wasting your money because you're not going to get better. Like, what was helpful for me, I set reminders on my phone, like, all right, you have to do your exercise now. You have to do it like midday. And I had to do them 3 times a day because I thought I want to get back on track ASAP and really feel good for the trip, especially with all the driving. I mean, come on. And so I was very diligent about that, and the reminders really helped for me. So definitely something to think about if you're in that situation and you're thinking, well, I can't find time to do this. Well, you got to carve out time. Even if it's like little by little, you do it. You got to do it because ultimately you want to feel better. So the only way to feel better is to do your exercises. Set the time aside. But, the exercises didn't stop there. I did them on vacation and I'm still doing them today. And yes, it's January 2022 and this was May 14th, 2021. Because what I've realized over the years with having other injuries, it's just not the same as what it was before, unfortunately. Like, yes, the exercises help. It's going to strengthen your muscles. It's going to strengthen around them. But at the end of the day, it's not the same as it was before. And truthfully, I was having, some issues. It was still kind of like, it was just uncomfortable. Like, I could feel it. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Like, I've been doing these effing exercises pretty frequently. And I thought it would be even better by that point. I will say, it did get very busy at work over the summer. So I wasn't doing the exercises that frequently. I was doing them, but just not as much. So I thought, let me get back on track. And when I got back on track with doing them more regularly, that really helped. And pretty recently too, I realized, wow, like I can barely feel where I had injured my back. So you can see, like, if you stick with it, over time, you continue to do it, it's going to be almost back to normal. Almost. Maybe like 95%. Because you realize that, you can't, it doesn't feel the same, yeah, that's just the way it is. But one of the tips, my friends, that I wanted to share, something that you can remember and kind of take away anytime you're lifting and moving around, or maybe you're actually moving. You're moving into a new house, right? Doesn't matter what it is, right? But make sure your nose and toes are facing the same direction. Wow. I know. Who knew? Who knew? And I have to give credit to my mom because she told me that. And I thought, Mom, why didn't you tell me this before May 14th? You think that, oh, well, I'm so young that I can lift and twist. You can't. You cannot lift and twist. Doesn't matter. Because there will be times where you think you're doing something super easy. Wow, this is nothing. I got this. And those are the times where it's unexpected. And before you know it, you are feeling it. And you just throw out your back. Yeah. Seriously, because have there been other times where I've lifted heavier items than the chair out back? Absolutely. So, just goes to show. Can happen whenever, but nose and toes, same direction. And obviously, bends, when you are bending, obviously use your legs. Do not pull at your back because that's going to really, really hurt. And I'm going to cringe. It's not going to be good. But I want to hear from you, and I hope you can relate to this, if you have injured your back at all. Who knew that I would injure it at 31 years old, but hey, maybe that's a record. Because I feel like you don't hear people like throwing out their back until they're like in their 50s. But hey, it can happen. It can happen. And watch out, nose and toes. There you go. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next week. Peace out.
Okay, friends, be sure to listen on your preferred platform. Go to my Instagram or Facebook at the Big Dane Podcast and tap on the link tree within my account to find your favorite way to listen. If you truly enjoyed it, stay on the link tree and tap on leave a review. And you'll notice this link tree has other exciting areas to check out, like the coffee memberships that I spoke about with all exclusive content. A merch section is there because, yes, I have merch waiting for you. And of course, feel free to contact me with any feedback or other topics of interest, which you'll see is the last section of the Linktree platform. All right, see you next week.